return of my free will to join the ranks of those struggling to restore our rights and freedom through non-violence. I seek no confrontation, I only pray and will strive for a genuine national reconciliation founded on justice. I am prepared for the worst and have decided against the advice of my mother, my spiritual advisor, many of my tested friends, and a few of my most valued political mentors. A death sentence awaits me. Two more subversion charges, both calling for death penalties, have been filed since I left 3 years ago and are now pending with the courts. I could have opted to seek political asylum in America, but I feel it is my duty, as it is the duty of every Filipino, to suffer with his people, especially in time of crisis. I never sought nor I have been given assurances or promise of leniency by the regime. I returned voluntarily armed only, with a clear conscience and fortified in the faith that in the end justice will emerge triumphant. According to Gandhi, the willing sacrifice of the innocents is the most powerful answer to insolent tyranny that has yet been conceived by God and man. 3 years ago, when I left the emergency heart bypass operation, I hope and pray that the rights and freedom of our people would soon be restored, that living conditions would improve, and that bloodletting would stop. Rather than move forward, we have moved backward. The killing have increased, the economy has taken a turn for worse, and the human rights situation has deteriorated. During the martial law period, the Supreme Court heard petition for habeas corpus. It is most ironic. After martial law has been allegedly been lifted, that the Supreme Court last April ruled that it can no longer entertain petition for habeas corpus for persons detained under the Presidential Commitment Order, which covers also called national security cases and which under present circumstances can cover almost anything. The country is far advanced in her times of troubles. Economic, social, and political problems bedevil the Filipino. These problems may be surmounted if we are united. But we can be united only if all the rights and freedoms enjoyed before September 21, 1972 are fully restored. The Filipino asks for nothing more, but will surely accept nothing less than all the rights and freedom guaranteed by 1935 Constitution, the most sacred legacies from the founding fathers. Yes, the Filipino is patient, but there is a limit to his patience. Must we wait until the patience snaps? The nationwide rebellion is escalating and threatens to explode into a bloody revolution. There is a growing cadre of young Filipinos who have finally come to realize that freedom is never granted, it is taken. Must we relive the agonies and the bloodletting of the past that brought forth our republic, or can we sit down as brothers and sisters and discuss our differences with reason and goodwill? I have often wondered how many disputes could have been settled easily had disputants only dared to define their terms. So as to leave no room for misunderstanding, I shall define my terms. 6 years ago, I was sentenced to die before a firing squad by a military tribunal whose jurisdiction I steadfastly refused to recognize. It is now time for the regime to decide, order my immediate execution or set me free. I was sentenced to die for allegedly being the leading communist leader. I am not a communist, never was, and never will be. National reconciliation and unity can be achieved, but only with justice, including justice for our Muslim and Ifugao brothers. There can be no deal with a dictator, no compromise with a dictatorship. In a revolution, there can really be no victors, only victims. We do not have to destroy in order to build. Subversion stems from economic, social, and political causes and will not be solved by purely military solutions. It can be curbed not with ever-increasing repression, but with a more equitable distribution of wealth, more democracy, and more freedom. And for the economy to get going once again, the working man must be given his just and rightful share of his labor. And to the owners and managers must be restored the hope where there is so much as uncertainty, if not despair. On one of the long corridors of Harvard University are carved in granite the words of Archibald MacLeish. How shall freedom be defended? By arms when it is attacked by arms? By truth when it is attacked by lies? By democratic faith when it is attacked by authoritarian dogma? Always, and in the final act, by determination and faith. I return from exile into an uncertain future with only determination and faith to offer. Faith in our people and faith in God.